There's magic in the air, there's magic everywhere, and I'm going to tell you how you can use this magic. Hi, I'm Teja Priyadarshini, founder for Akashic Center for Healing, and I'm doing a series of magical tools, and this can definitely change your life. Today's tool is another tool from Access Consciousness, which is called Poc and Pod, which means point of creation to point of destruction. But you don't have to really remember the entire full form of Poc and Pod, because this is what we call switch words, and these words bypass your conscious brain and go directly into your subconscious. Isn't that cool? That means your superconscious self already knows what Poc and Pod mean without me explaining to you that it means point of creation and point of destruction. And what do? These switch words are very, very potent. Remember the tool that I gave you last week? Who does this feeling belong to? I return it to the sender. If you add Poc and Pod to the end of that statement, so it goes like, who does this feeling belong to? I return it to the sender, Poc and Pod. Then whatever that feeling is, wherever it was first created, that means point of creation, and up till the very end, point of destruction, and everything else in between gets decimated. That means it just disappears, the energy disappears, the feeling disappears, whatever emotional thoughts you're having, emotional feelings that you're having, everything starts to dissipate and disappear. So Poc and Pod can be also used regularly without any other statement, though it does belong to a bigger clearing statement from Access Consciousness, which is good and bad, right and wrong, Poc and Pod, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. You don't have to know this entire clearing statement, but if you like to know more, then I'm going to put a website link below that explains the statement in more detail. It is called theclearingstatement.com. If you go to that particular website, this statement, right and wrong, good and bad, Pod and Poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds, will be explained to you in great detail. But for today's video's purpose, we're just going to stick with Poc and Pod, which by itself is a very potent clearing statement. So every time you have an emotion coming up, or you feel that something is not right and things are not moving properly, or just that icky feeling that you have, all you need to say is, whatever this is, whatever feeling this is, I Poc and Pod it. That's it. You can use Poc and Pod in simple sentences like this. Whatever the situation is, I Poc and Pod it. Whatever this feeling is, I Poc and Pod it. Poc and Pod, Poc and Pod, Pod and Poc, Poc and Pod. You can use it whichever way you want to, but all you need to say is, whatever this feeling I'm feeling right now, I Poc and Pod it. Just in case you do not remember any other tool that I'm giving you, any of these other statements that I'm telling you, just remember Poc and Pod. That is enough to destroy and dissipate any emotion that is kind of building up and making you feel, constricted, small, making you feel negative, making you feel like you don't matter. This Poc and Pod statement allows you to expand yourself. And like I said, you don't even have to remember what Poc and Pod means. You just need to say the words Poc and Pod. That's all. So Poc and Pod all of this, or Poc and Pod this feeling, Poc and Pod whatever the situation is, will in itself bring down that energy that is building up and making it become a more intense emotion. So we're trying to bring that energy down to a neutral phase, or kind of just remove that negativity. So Poc and Pod will help you do exactly that. If you have any issues understanding what Poc and Pod is, then you know what to do. You can feel free to get in touch with me on Facebook or on Instagram. My handle is @AkashicOfficial. You can also get in touch with me over WhatsApp or on the phone. My number is on my website www.achofficial.com. And I'm going to soon start taking more appointments for the hypnosis sessions that I do. So stay tuned for that. I will see you again in another video next week on Sunday. But until then, have a beautiful, magical week ahead. And once again, I'm very grateful and full of love for all of you who are watching these videos and passing them on to your friends and family. Have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.